Hello, I'm Nigel Smith, founder of Zurena, and welcome to the Uplifting Spirits Chronicles powered by Zurena. What is Zurena? Zurena is an all-natural, gluten and sodium-free premium drink mixer made with mango, passion fruit, lemon, lime, bitters, and Jamaican allspice. Be you, love you, enjoy the Zurena life. So people ask me all the time, where does the word Zurena come from? Well, it's a combination of two words. Zuri, which is Swahili, means beautiful, and Rena, which is Hebrew, means joyful melody. So beautiful, joyful melody, which means love. It's also the names of my two beautiful daughters, Zuri and Rena. And by naming the product after them, I wanted to set an example of the art of the possible. That if you have a dream, all you have to do is work hard to make this dream into a reality. I celebrate Women's History Month every single day of my life by being the best dad, best husband, best brother, and best son that I can be, some of the most phenomenal women in the entire world.
Hello, good evening. Hi, ladies.
Hi, everyone.
Welcome. You ladies are looking absolutely fabulous tonight. Thank you for joining me.
Thank you.
Thank you for having us.
Welcome, everyone that's tuned in. Thank you guys for joining us tonight. My name is Cara Donnell, and tonight we will be telling her story. I would just like to say thank you to our sponsors, Zurena and NLCB. I'm very, very excited to chat with these amazing women from across the Caribbean. So without further ado, I would like to present my panelists. We can go from top and then work our way to the bottom. So Alison, Hinds, you can go ahead and introduce yourself and let us know where you're representing for those of you who don't know, but I'm sure everyone in the chat already knows.
Hi, everyone. Of course, my name is Alison Hinds. I am known as the Caribbean Queen of Soca. I've been in this business for almost 25 years now as a performer, entertainer, soca artist, all of these things. I'm an actress. I'm also a motivational speaker. And I try by using my visibility and my image to encourage positivity as much as possible, to also look at ways to be able to empower women and girls. That is something that is very, very close to my heart and has been for most of my life. And I'm just really, really happy to be a part of telling her story. And I think we're going to have a wonderful time tonight. And thank you so much, Cara, for having me as a part of your panel.
It's an absolute pleasure to have you here. Next up, we have Nikhita, Cornwall. Where are you representing? And tell us a little bit about yourself.
Hello, 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 beautiful people. So my name is Nikhita, and I'm representing for Trinidad and Tobago. Hey. So I do a lot of things, but I've been focusing for the past 10 years on my hair business. So I'm a celebrity hairstylist. I own my own hair business called Natural Baby Hair, where we focus on black hair and all of the textures from curly to kinky to coily, and really celebrating those textures and making every woman feel good in themselves, empowering women to really express the depth of their personality through their hair and just by being themselves and tapping into culture while doing so. So I'm also a training tattoo artist in the moment. I'm speaking it into existence, which is why I'm mentioning it right now. I'm a mother, a new mother as well, so that's a big thing for me. And yeah, I'm also a sound healer. A lot of people always ask me, what is sound healing? And it is using the vibrational frequencies of songs to tap into your brain frequencies and send you into an altered state of being, and just kind of calm your body, mind, body, and spirit. It can do so emotionally and physically. So I think that's me in a nutshell. Thank you, Carol, for having me. And I'm so honored to be a part of this panel with these amazing women.
Thank you so much, Nikhita. And next we have Miss Whenda. Where are you representing from? And tell us a little bit about yourself.
Hi, everyone. My name is Whenda. Everyone calls me Wanda. Tima. I am representing the beautiful island of Haiti tonight. It's such a pleasure to be here tonight with all these other amazing Caribbean women. I'm really excited about our conversation. So I am the founder of Lignon Suite, which is the largest Haitian American digital news and entertainment platform. I pretty much started this platform in 2011 because I had absolutely no idea what it meant to be Haitian. I grew up Haitian American, so I didn't know much about my heritage, and I wanted to discover who I was. And I started finding out all these amazing things about who I am and where I'm from, and amazing things my people were doing around the world. And I wanted to create a space to share that. So 10 years later, I've worked with a lot of amazing people. We're now like the leading platform for everything amazing you want to know what's going on in the Haitian community. And aside from that, I've had the opportunity to work with some amazing organizations. We do a lot of different fundraisers. I also work as a media strategist for a lot of different people. And in my part-time, when I'm not online or flipping through social media or posting something, I travel a lot to rest and take a break and recharge and just continue trying to find new ways to pretty much just push the Haitian community forward in the work that we're doing. So bridging the gap and highlighting the best of the culture.
Thank you so much. Miss Tami Chin Mitchell.
Hi, everybody. I'm Tami Chin Mitchell, and I'm representing Jamaica. So lovely to be here, Carol, with all of these wonderful women. I love hearing all of the accents. It makes me so excited. But I'd say that my entry point into my journey of entrepreneurship really started in music. Singer-songwriter for many years. And then I really moved into owning a business where I actually started owned and operated a salon where I really discovered my love for people. And, you know, salons and the conversations that we have there, it really, you know, ignited this passion of personal growth and this beauty in sharing and wanting to tell our truth all the time, telling our stories all the time. And so I really started to kind of shift more into, you know, creating content that allowed vulnerability and allowed us to kind of speak our truth and to show our truth. And so I'm the ultimate multi-potentialite. I have no clue what is in store for me next or even where this all leads to, but I'm so open to all kinds of possibilities and continuing to kind of follow the breadcrumbs of my life, which is kind of like my own personal motto. So yeah, happy to be here tonight and excited to share and to learn from tonight. So thanks so much.
I'm on mute. Thank you so much, Tami. And last but not least, Miss Rexy Rolle.
Hi, I am Rexy Rolle, and I'm representing the beautiful islands of the Bahamas. And I am VP of Operations and General Counsel at Western Air. Western Air is the largest privately owned airline in the Bahamas and is also a family business, so it's very personal. I take a lot of pride in our providing a great passenger experience throughout the Bahamas. And we also have secondary businesses that are related, of course, to aviation. So by trade, I am a corporate attorney, and I also focus as well on aviation. And for fun, I love music and dance. So you would also find me dancing around and putting up music videos, but for fun. I'm not Alison Hinds, but it keeps a great balance. Yeah.
Is it me or did it freeze?
I think it froze.
Yes, it did.
It did freeze.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was like, wait, what's happening right now? Did you finish your sentence? Sorry. Rexy?
I think so. Yeah, I think I did.
Awesome, no worries. Thank you so much, ladies. And like I said, my name is 𝘩𝘳𝘺𝘺. I am representing Trinidad and Tobago. I'm currently in Tobago at Cocoa Reef Resort. So I'm praying that this Wi-Fi stays connected and we have no issues. But you know, it is Women's Month. As we close out, today's the last day of Women's Month. So I want to celebrate you ladies. And I would like for you guys to share, you know, what's your proudest accomplishment? I'll start with Nikhita. So what is something that you are just so happy and proud about that you've accomplished?
Do you know what? Recently, so much magical stuff has been happening, but one of the moments that really, in my career, has really made me very proud is that I had the opportunity to work with one of the women in society that I believe embodies the natural babe and what we stand for in terms of spirituality and all of these different aspects, and that's Erykah Badu. So I was very, very, very lucky to be able to work with this amazing soul in two capacities, and that is by doing her hair as well as working on a short film with her, my short film that I created, directed, and she edited it, and she also gave me her music to use on it. So that's one of the biggest things for me so far.
Yeah, that would be a round of applause. Wow, congratulations.
Thank you.
Okay, and Tami, what is something that you are very proud of?
You know, career-wise, I mean, apart from obviously, you know, being a mom of, you know, 3 amazing boys and a bonus mom to a couple great teenagers, and, you know, my husband and my marriage, which I hold really dear to me. I've been really proud, firstly, of the way that, you know, kind of I've just been able to go after all the things that I've wanted to do and not kind of been held back by the idea of just being in a box. That's been a really proud thing for me. But most recently, speaking of which, I started a family vlog a year ago, and the growth has been exponential. Big up any MTM family members that are here tonight. But I literally, my husband and I, we shoot everything on our phones, and then I edit every single video. And I was looking at it the other day, and I think I've edited over 200 videos we're almost a year old now. And I think that showing up for that every week, 3 shows a week, sometimes 4, has been an incredible accomplishment for me in discipline and just showing up in that way, in a real, honest, open, vulnerable way. So that's been a really big thing for me, and something I'm very proud of.
We are proud of you too. And Miss Alison Hinds.
Yes, ma'am. I think one of the things that I am most proud of is not only having had the career that I've had up until this point, but to have inspired so many other young women to come into the business. And when I started, I had no idea that what I was doing was paving the way for other females to come into the business and become the artists and the powerhouses that they were going to become. I just wanted to perform. I just wanted to sing to the best of my ability. I just wanted to make people happy. That was always my main focus from then until now. And to have had that impact, not only in my island of Barbados, but throughout the region and beyond, is something that I am very, very proud of and very humbled by, because it's something that just happened organically. And it's only after, you know, a lot of these females came to me at various times, and they were like, you know, I saw the Ragamuffin video. That was my inspiration. I used to follow you around when you perform. That is something that I'm very, very proud of. And I want to be able to continue to be that inspiration for young women, not just coming into the business, but overall.
I keep muting myself and forgetting to unmute myself. Thank you so much, Ali. And we will go over to Rexy.
Okay. I would say I'm most proud of consistency. I know that sometimes it's overlooked, but it is the core of any successful business organization. And even, you know, if you're providing some sort of product or service, if you're able to be consistent, and you're not always able to do that, but when you are able to provide the same experience each time, that is something to be motivated by. And so being able to do that and having a set routine and a flow. I'm big on operations. I'm big on having a sensible, efficient operations on the day-to-day, and have everyone recognize and understand their value and their role in our company. And so allowing and seeing how that works together to provide for consistency every day, 365 days out of the year, is something I'm certainly most proud of.
Thank you, Rexy. And we will go over to Miss Whenda.
I'm gonna follow with exactly what Rexy just said. My most proudest accomplishment for me would be the fact that I am celebrating 10 years right now. So this year will be our 10th year of me starting me in Sweden. Like I said earlier, this was just a passion project for me. When I started, it was just something that I loved doing. I was doing after work. I was still working at 40 hours a week, and then coming home and doing this on the side as a hobby. And then eventually I had to turn it into my career. No blueprint. I had no entrepreneurial skills. I had never really taken a business class. I had no idea how I was going to turn an online platform into a full-blown business. And it took a lot of trial and error, a lot of failing. I didn't really have a blueprint or anything to follow, because I was branding a country and a group of people. And, you know, like Rexy said, being consistent every single day, providing content and material in all these different areas, and starting out with one person, and then learning how to build a team, and how to go from, you know, CEO and find a president and find a manager and find staff and working with them. This has been the most challenging thing I've ever done in my life, and also been the most rewarding, because in the process, I've had an opportunity to learn about myself. When I had a lot of wins, I had a lot of fails. It's made me have to stop sometimes and check in with who I am and what I'm doing. I went from just, the person that was just providing content, and now I'm representing a whole group of people in the country. And that takes, you have to have a lot of pride and understanding, and you have to be compassionate, all these things that you kind of have to check in yourself and make sure you're very clear about who you are. If you're out in the world every day representing, a group of people. And I've been telling people this year that, this is my 10th year. Oh my God, I can't believe I made it. And somebody said to me today, you do understand in business, that's like year number one for you, right? I'm like, if this is year number one, then oh my God. But that for me has been my proudest accomplishment, because I had no idea growing up that I would be an entrepreneur. I wanted to either be a lawyer, a teacher, or someone in entertainment, but this was never, in my cards.
I am so proud of each and every one of you, so I will make sure and say that now, and I'll probably sing your praises until the end of this panel and afterwards. I am really, really, really proud of each one of you and your accomplishments and what you continue to do. You guys really are an inspiration for myself and many others, so I'm very grateful to have you guys here sharing your stories and sharing light with everyone. My next question, I will direct it to Tami. Tami, what are the ways you implement self-care, and how do you not lose yourself as a person while juggling motherhood and being a wife?
I lose myself in that all the time. And, I tell people all the time, one of the greatest gifts I ever got in my life was hearing Lisa Nichols do away with this idea of balance for me. So balance for me feels very tricky, like for a lot of women. Balance feels like, everybody has to get an equal part or an equal amount, so work, husband, children, yourself, passions, everything. And so she introduced me to this idea of harmony, which made it so much easier to kind of navigate my days and navigate my life. And so I try to really reach for harmony way more. And that's really helped with even like self-care. So for example, I wasn't sure what self-care was, because every time I saw self-care, it looked like a spa treatment or getting your nails done, which I like. Yeah, that's fine. But it wasn't really self-care or self-love for me. And so for years, I just didn't do anything, because I was like, I don't want to go and sit down and get a facial or a massage or whatever it was. I really had to relearn what self-care looked like for me personally. And so I really think it's important for anybody listening or tuning in right now to, figure out what that looks like for you. So right now, self-care for me looks like waking up at 5:30 before all the boys are awake. It's making my favorite cup of coffee. It's sitting down in my journal. Journaling is really big for me as somebody who loves to write, and kind of, going through that motion. So I'm really terrible. I love to hear, the ladies talking about consistency and operations. I suck at that. I really love to go with the flow in many things, but there are certain things I've had to make consistently happen, like those small routines or small habits that allow me to kind of show up for everybody else. Because if I don't wake up at 5:30, come 6:30 or 7 o'clock, I have, a 7-year-old, a 4-year-old, and a almost 2-year-old banging down my brains about something they need. So self-care looks different for everybody, and I really want everybody to look at what that might look for them. A new self-care thing for me, for example, right now is gardening. I had no idea that gardening could be self-care. So it's just, kind of doing away with what the world says it is, and just kind of getting in touch with, well, what makes me feel safe, what makes me feel loved, what makes me feel taken care of, what makes me feel in myself. Oh, dancing, another thing, and do that. So I am making time for that, as I would time for my children, my husband, my work, and trying to make it a priority. Not always easy.
I love that. And I am actually a new plant mom. I swear over the past couple of months, I've gotten about 5 or 6, maybe 7, 8 plants. So love the plant life. Yes. Super adorable. I love it. Thank you so much. Next up, so Nikhita, what are some strategies that can help women achieve a more prominent role in their organizations?
Hi again. And first of all, I'm so happy that you got those plants. It makes my soul happy. I am like the ultimate plant mom. So, okay, so what are some tips that can help women achieve a more prominent role in the workplace? So I would say tip number one would be to be vocal. Ask for what you want. Do not be afraid to ask for what you want. Like, we live in a world already where, females in the workplace are literally quite, all the research shows it, at a low vantage point than men. So you're not going to get what you want and what you deserve unless you actually ask for it. And remove your ego and just do it. Just ask for what you want. Be vocal. But it's a pay raise. You think you deserve something else, ask for it. I'm not saying to go down there and be like, rah, 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 rah. But definitely ask for what you want. I would also encourage women to put the work in that is necessary. As in, if you set goals for yourself, and if there's something that you want, work so hard for that. Like, if you're accustomed waking up at 5 a.m., wake up at 4 a.m. and get that extra read in, or prep for this meeting, whatever it takes for you to be able to perform to the best of your ability. That's what you should be doing, because you have to be able to perform to the best of your ability in something that you love doing as well. And walk the walk and talk the talk. So don't just want to move up in the workplace. Do what is necessary. Walk the walk, talk the talk, and ask for what you want. And I think those are some tips that I would leave with you all.
Thank you. Walk the walk and talk the talk. I feel like I should do a hair flick or something. Yes, walk out, Ali. Walk out. Ali, so what are you currently doing to make a difference in the world or pave the way for other women? You are, a woman's advocate. You stand for empowerment. So what are you doing right now to pave the way for other women?
What I'm trying to do is encourage women to go into entrepreneurship, because I am actually in the process of, yes, I've had, quite a successful career up until this point in terms of my singing, performing, and entertaining people. But I'm also looking at, especially since this pandemic, at expanding my brand. And so I would encourage any woman out there to really look at herself and look at her, if you have a business, or even if you don't, but you have this passion or this dream that you have wanted to pursue for a long time. And maybe this is that time, because of, whatever may be happening or not happening at this point. This would be the time for you to explore those other avenues, and really, as Nikhita said just now, go for what you want. I have been wanting to expand the brand that is Alison Hinds for a while. I didn't have the time because I was busy touring up and down. But now I've started, and I'm on my way. And everything is gradual. Everything is, is going to take time. Everything has different timing, but it's going to happen. We can't, and especially as women of color, because as women of color, we have more against us than than white women, I would say. And so we have to put in that much more work. We have to put in that much more effort, unfortunately. But fortunately for us, we're used to doing that. We're used to multitasking, and we're used to, going out there and getting stuff done. So I am trying in my capacity to be that beacon that will encourage other women to really go for theirs, because we need entrepreneurship. I think that's the way of the world. That's the future. And we do know for sure that the future is female.
Yes, the future is female. I mean, look at this panel. Look at this powerhouse panel, okay? Thank you so much, Ali. And next, I will go over to Rexy. What goes through your mind when you think of women who joined the workplace, or workforce, I should say, before you?
Well, I think now we have the luxury of, social media and being more connected to express our concerns when we feel that there's been some form of injustice or inequality. But I think about women before me, especially being in the aviation industry, a male-dominated industry, and I can't imagine the amount of challenges they would have faced. And you're constantly having to prove yourself. And honestly, even I would look at my mom, who is one of the founders of Western Air, and nobody trusts initially what a woman is saying in regards to aviation until she proves herself. And so that's not necessarily voiced right away. And so when I think about those women who have kind of laid the foundation, I'm eternally grateful that there were people before me to kind of show me how to go, how to walk through. But I'm also grateful that we are in this day and time where we're able to be expressive and be authentic about who we are, and that women are not one-dimensional. We have so many different variations and aspects of ourselves that deserves to be shared with other people and shared to the world. So I'm grateful to be in this time, but I'm totally grateful for those who came before me.
I swear, I don't know what is going on, because I'm like, is it mine that's freezing? Is it hers that's freezing? I'm doing this in between dance, like, okay, wait, do I switch screens? Do I not? Thank you so much, Rexy. And Whenda, so we would like to know, how do you admire someone else's success without doubting your own self-worth?
I am a big fan of looking into the work of, I guess I keep with the women that come before me. Like even now, a lot of the people that I follow on social media are women. A lot of the women in entertainment, women in media, women in radio. I follow like pretty much all of these different platforms. And for me, I don't get in this. If anything, I think they inspire me. And I really look into a lot of these women for inspiration. And I would say some of the things that normally happen sometimes is when you're watching a lot of other people moving in place and you feel like, okay, maybe I'm not doing enough. I could be doing more. And I could get lost sometimes in the space of, well, this person is doing this much, I should be doing more. And at times I have to shake myself back and say, wait, no, everyone has their journey. Everyone has done, certain work to get to where they are. And you need to be absolutely fine with where you are right now and understand that your journey is going to look different. Your journey is going to feel different, yet still being able to look at these people for inspiration and not allowing it to probably make me feel, less than or anything to that effect. So I've never really been in a position to where I feel like I'm either like jealous of other women or anything of that fact. If anything, I use other women in entertainment or people in entertainment as inspiration. I follow their work. I see what other people are doing. And when I bump into certain situations or problems, I look into what, you know, other people have done before me. Because a lot of times, especially when you're an entrepreneur and you're just starting out, or you don't necessarily know how to deal with certain things, you sometimes think you're the only one that's gone through this, and you think this is just your problem, your issue. Then you start looking into a lot of other people, or you're reading books, or you're watching interviews by some of the greats, and they're all saying they went through the same exact things. They've had the same fears, they've had the same failures, and look at what they are now. So if anything, what I literally do is I follow people for inspiration and to sometimes help me connect the dot. But I've never really been in a situation to where I'm either jealous or, you know, it made me feel any kind of way about the people that I'm watching or looking at.
Thank you so much, Whenda. So speaking of inspiration, I would really like to know, who is one of your biggest inspirations? So I'll start from the top. Alison, who is someone that has really inspired you throughout your journey?
I've had a lot of, I've been blessed to have had a lot of people in my life who have been the various inspirations at different points. But when I first started out in soca specifically, there weren't any female soca artists, any like major female soca artists out there. So I didn't have anyone to look to, so I had to figure it out and create my own way. But I remember going into Trinidad one of those first times, and at the time it would have been the females in Calypso and Kaiso. And of course, the wonderful singing Sandra, may she eternally rest in peace. I remember she came to me and she said to me, "You are going to be a star." And she said, "No matter what, I give you my support and I'm here for you. If you need anything, you need any kind of anything, any help, any advice, anything, just let me know. And I give you that support." And so did Denise Plummer, who was in Calypso at the time. And that meant so much to me as a young woman coming into this business, because I didn't expect it. A young Bajan artist coming into Trinidad Carnival. Of course, I'd heard of singing Sandra and grew up on her music. And so for someone like her to come to me and say that and give me that stamp of approval was, I will never ever forget that. I will never ever forget that. And I don't want to cry right now because no, but she was an amazing woman, an amazing, amazing woman. And I will never ever forget her, ever.
Awesome. Thank you, Alison. Nikhita, who is one of your inspirations?
Okay, so you know what I find, because similarly, like growing up, when it came to like the hair thing, I didn't really have, and even just like expressing myself for who I really was, and owning my identity as a Black woman, I didn't really you know, have much people that I looked up to on TV or around me in that way, just because of what I was surrounded by. And we kind of spoke about this when we had our own live, Cara, about how much I was like encouraged to be something that I wasn't, and was praised for having like straight hair textures and all of these different things. And as I grew older, I kind of got a lot of my inspiration from musical artists because, you know, that's what I had on around me all the time. And people like Lauryn Hill, Erykah Badu, you know, these people have all inspired me to really be able to express myself and wear my hair naturally and not be afraid of it, be unapologetically me. And, you know, because I've watched these women break like all of the barriers that society has placed on us as women, and especially Black women and women of color on TV and in media, by making you wear hairstyles that was not natural to who you are, not having people that can deal with your hair on set, all of these different things. And these women so fearlessly and unapologetically wore their natural hair in their music videos, and they stayed true to who they were, India Arie, and they were really huge inspiration in my life in terms of like, yeah, just owning your individuality, your culture, who you are. And then they have women like Cicely Tyson, who was one of the first Black women to wear her hair natural on television, which was like, that is serious barrier breaking. That takes a lot of strength, especially in the time that she was in. May she rest in peace, she recently passed. And I mean, that's absolutely phenomenal. A lot of other civil rights activists who proudly and boldly wore their afros as well, and just kind of was like, you know what, this is who I am. This is the way that my hair grows out of my head. This is my ancestral connection, and I'm going to own it. I'm going to stand in it and in that energy, and I'm going to also inspire other women to do it. So those are a few of my inspirations.
Thanks so much. Miss Whenda, who do you got for us?
So me, it's Oprah, 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 Oprah. When I was growing up, I was pretty much being groomed to be an attorney. My parents was very clear that's what I was going to do. So every law show would get stick in front of me. But the first time I saw Oprah, even though I had no idea at the time the term of what she was doing, I knew that's what I wanted to do. And when I got into college, they sent me to college to be an attorney. And I switched without anyone knowing to journalism. I knew that's the path of what I wanted to take. I loved everything about journalism, the news, entertainment, being able to meet people and interview. And I knew that was going to be my career path. And Oprah's been like so prolific in how she's done it as a Black woman. And now being an entrepreneur and a business owner, I still admire everything she does, because she literally went from, you know, to being on the news to doing a talk show host. And now she's a owner of her own network. She creates her own content, and she's never not been in control of her content. Like, especially now with social media and everything, you hear a lot of people saying like, you know, they're not in control of this kind of content. They're doing this because it makes sense. They're doing this because it's more popular. Oprah has always been in control of the kind of content that she puts out, you know, to the world, and how she does it. And now having a network and being like a network, a magazine, you name it, she's done it. And she's been one of the top, not just Black women in news and entertainment, but just top women, top entrepreneur, period. And I watch everything that she does, all of her shows, the way she produces content, the way she's always working with other women. Like, she is so big on women producers, shows where women are lead characters, giving women spaces to create their own content on her network. Own network is all about, you know, Black women, Black empowerment, Black beauty, Black everything. And I am constantly at awe at how she handles everything. The criticism, the hate online, everything. I am always at awe at how she continues to just stand her ground, and very strong and stern in who she is. And as a businesswoman, that's who I, you know, see myself being, and how I would like, you know, the next 10 years or 20 years of my life as a career woman in media to look like.
It's definitely Oprah for me. And Tami. You look like you're like, yep.
Oh, we call
Me
Oprah
too.
mother. We call her mother in this house. Oh, when it comes to, like I think it was Alison that said, we have so many different inspirations based on different parts of our life, right? And so Oprah has always been that person in my mind. She narrates my life, okay? And so it's just, she's one of those women, and I think Wanda just said everything that she could have said about her that perfectly encapsulates who she is. And I don't know how she manages to rise above it all the time while doing all of that. And I think that's something that I find so inspiring about her, finding that moment where she just kind of lifts above all of the noise, especially, recently with everything that was going on. And how do you be calm in all of that and rise above it is just honestly something I reach for all the time and work on all the time. And, I am being even kind of tested in that area all the time too. On an even more personal level though, I feel like at the stage of life that I am in right now, I'm very inspired by my parents. I'm really like being a mother now. I look at my mother now as like this very impossible standard. And, the way that she managed to parent 5 of us, and, we're all pretty decent human beings, if I do say so myself. But with this sensitivity and this consciousness, you see all of these books behind me, and I have everything. These are all mostly from her collection, because she was just so much about wanting to equip me and all of us with what she thought we needed. And I'm in that position now where I feel like, how do I pass that on? And how inspiring to me that she was able to do that through who she was and how she was on a day-to-day basis. And I say my father as well, because I think as girls, we are raised in kind of the image of our mother so much, and we think we're going to either marry or run away from the versions of our fathers. And I didn't realize that I am my father. So that entrepreneurial spirit, that figure it out, that what's the next thing that we need to do, what's the next right step, how do we move into right action? Like, that's so inspiring to me. And he's 70 years old now, and still that figure of when I'm lost and I can't figure something out, I know I can call him and be like, hey, can we talk about this? And can we just kind of like figure this out? And my dad didn't even graduate high school, but he has a spirit about him that is just like, we can figure things out. He has this faith that is just unreal to me. And so I find them both really inspiring in a very personal way right now at this stage of my life. But Mother Oprah is queen, girl.
That was really beautiful. Thank you. And Rexy, who has inspired you?
Well, I hate to sound like a broken record, but of course it has been Oprah. And the truth is, probably not for the same reasons. Obviously, she is successful monetarily, but for me, when you are successful in one element, it's so easy for people to box you in. And she just always appears that she is not afraid to jump into different businesses, other industries, try her hand on the creative side. There's just so much variation. And I love that that constant motivation to continue to expand. If you're worth $1 billion and you're still constantly starting a new business, that's something to celebrate. And so I certainly look at Oprah as someone who, since I was a child, my mom was also a really big Oprah fan. And so it just kind of trickles down. And of course, my parents, my dad is one of my biggest inspiration. When we talk about empowering women, women also need allies, and we need men to be very confident in our abilities. We are confident in our own abilities, but it only makes sense when everyone, man and woman, celebrates the work ethic and the intelligence and the capability of a woman. And that's what he has always instilled in me, that regardless of me being a female or a woman, at the end of the day, I am just as capable. I am just as smart. And he always pushes me to be aggressive and aggressive in a sensible manner, particularly when it comes to business, and never being afraid or shying away from voicing my opinion. I get that from both my parents. So they have played an instrumental part in my life and really curating who I am today. Yeah.
Our parents are the real MVPs. So I will go over to Nikhita. Nikhita, how important is it to find one's purpose in life? So for those who are unsure of their purpose, like how do they figure that out? And in your opinion, how important is that?
So you know what? This is, most people would be like, you have to find your purpose, and you do. You should find your purpose. But I feel like there's so much pressure sometimes that it can cause any of us, any human being to get so overwhelmed and caught up in doing all of these other things because we're searching for something that somebody else wants us to find. So first, we need to understand and want it for ourselves, and understand, this is, of course, my personal view. Not everyone is at a stage where they understand the importance of purpose or what even true purpose is. So I definitely think that first you need to sit down and have that moment with yourself, connect to self, because when you connect to self, you connect to source. And when you connect to source, that's when you're at a place where you can receive the downloads from God, from whoever that you believe in terms of what is your destiny, what are you here for. So yeah, I would definitely say to quiet out all of the outside clutter and take that moment to connect to source and connect to self. Quiet your mind so that you're able to receive the messages and the downloads that are being sent to you, because they are being sent to you. And it's okay if you do not know right now. I think I'm still, even though I know I'm really good at certain things, and there's definitely some stuff that I was sent to do on this earth that I am doing through healing. But I definitely think that there are still more things that I, in my physical form as a human being, have not yet received. So I would definitely say to quiet your mind and connect to source, and the download shall come.
Quiet your mind and connect to source. That's a very, very important message. I'm gonna actually write that down because that resonated with me for sure. Alison, how have you built confidence and or resiliency over the course of your career? Because you are in the limelight. For those who are now tuning in, this is Miss Alison Hinds, the Caribbean soca queen, who is in the media all the time. So talk to us about that, please.
How have I? Tell me the first part of that question again, because my brain just went.
How have you? No problem. How have you built confidence and or resiliency over the course of your career?
Okay, it has taken time. It has taken a lot of time too, because when I started as a very, young, inexperienced girl, just wanting to sing and just wanting to entertain people, but was very, very shy. And when I say this to people, they're like, what? Never. It's like, though. As a kid, growing up in England, I was extremely shy and very, very introverted, very much into myself. So when I got into this business, I didn't even fully know how I was going to be able to do it because I was so shy. And when I first joined Square One, and we were a hotel band to start off with, I couldn't even announce a song. Like, that was a big deal to me, to actually like speak into the mic other than sing. But I knew that I loved singing so much that I was gonna have to push myself to come out of that shell. And that started to happen when we actually made the transition to the club circuit in Barbados. And at the time, we had a vibrant club circuit. So we really started, we started to build and work. And I saw the way that young blood at the time, Anderson Armstrong, was just kind of engaging, and he was always brave and he was always up front. And I saw the way that the audience responded, and I thought, well, Alison, people are loving this, so you need to like really push yourself out of your comfort zone. And I started talking to the audience. I started announcing songs, and I gradually, pulled myself like kind of out. I think the fact that I had the band around me helped to give me that confidence, because we were all growing together. We were all like inexperienced when we started, and we were all growing together. We were young and excited and all of that. And when we got onto the club circuit, and we were now performing for the public, for the Bajan public, is when, people started talking, people started, negativity and that kind of stuff. And I remember sitting down in my house one day, and I just sat down and I just cried. And I just cried and I cried, and I couldn't understand why people who didn't know me, who knew nothing about me, were saying these things and saying, all these negative, horrible things. And then that happened for a little while, until I got to a point where I was like, Alison, you need to stop this. Like I was like talking to myself, I was talking to God, I was having these conversations. And it was like, you need to pull yourself up out of this. This is what they want. They want for you to just fall up in a ball and not continue to do this, not continue to do and to live your passion. And I started to pull myself out, and I talked to friends and just having the encouragement of the guys around me who, were like my big brothers. And that's what helped me to start to really overcome and understand that being in this business, you have to have a thick skin. Like, you need to develop a thick skin, because they will try, people will try to like run roughshod over you. And there have been times during my career that I felt like, all right, I had enough. I'm done. This is too much. I can't deal with this, through different situations. And somehow, with the support that I also had around me, because I couldn't do it just by myself. With the support I had around me, my husband was there, people that were close to me, that would help to give me that encouragement and be like, come on, Alison, you gotta keep going. And then something would happen, whether it was an encounter with a fan or something along those kind of lines, that would also help to be like, okay, Alison, this is the reason that you're doing this. This is the reason why you are and have become the woman that you have become, and the entertainer and the performer and all of that. And I just had to keep picking myself back up, dust off, and go again. And I could have given up. There were times when I felt like I was going to. But then I also would not allow myself to give up. I wouldn't allow myself to give in. I was like, nah, there's any time. And it's a series of things. As I said, having that support is very important, but also finding strength within yourself. I think that is the most important. Really being able to find it and pull it out and channel it and use it. And that's what I've had to do many times during my career. And I'm sure there are going to be times to come that I'm going to need to. I ain't giving up. I'm not stopping. I'm not because of anybody else. Anytime that I decide that I don't want to do this anymore, it is because I don't want to do it and I want to move on to something else. But yeah, it's been a challenge and it's been a journey. But without those valleys, then you don't know what those real highs are like. And the highs have been phenomenal. And I know there's more highs to come. So I'm just going to keep fighting and keep going.
Thank you.
You're
So
welcome.
I actually have a surprise. I'm gonna just, show you guys this little surprise. Give me a second here. I think now is a good time to show you guys the surprise. Bear with me for a second. So we have we have a special message from two gentlemen for the lovely ladies on the panel, as well as the ladies in the audience. So first up, we have this gentleman.
Hey, what's up? Hey, what's up? I'm Kevin Carter, and I just want to say thank you for having me here. Definitely got to big up the CWPL movement. I think it's a great initiative, what you guys are doing, to empower and to uplift and to inspire and motivate all women across the globe. All right, so I just want to do this for you guys. Ooh, there's something about the way she moves. I can't figure it out, something about her. Ooh, there's something about kind of woman that wants you but don't need you. Hey, I can't figure it out, something about her. See, she walk like a boss, tall like a boss, manicure nails to set the pedicure on. She's flying effortlessly. She move like a boss, do what a boss do. She got me thinking about getting involved. That's the kind of girl I need. She's got her own thing. That's why I love her. Miss Independent, won't you come and spend a little time? She's got her own thing. That's why I love her. Miss Independent, ooh, the way you shine. Miss Independent, yeah, yeah. Miss Independent, Miss Independent. Thank you.
Woohoo! How are we feeling about that little surprise?
Lovely.
Awesome.
Beautiful.
Oh, that was sweet. That was real sweet.
Kevin Carter, and I have one more surprise for you guys. Let's see how you feel about this one.
Greetings. First of all, I'm honored to be here. Honored to be able to give an offering to a panel like this. Thank you so much, Kara, for the opportunity. I want to send a special shout out to Nikhita Cornwall and to the darling of my heart who doesn't know she's my darling. She's Alison Hinds, big man blushing and thing. But on a real, for us as young men coming up, observing people like Alison and stuff gave us context in terms of femininity and the understanding of it. And in many ways, many of us came into our own understanding of femininity through the lens that you all provided and continue to provide. So we appreciate them. We appreciate love you all a lot. I just want to play a song for you all. It was written for my niece, who was born last year during the time of COVID. And it really, for me, expresses that love that I have in my heart towards feminine energy and how important I think it is in this world. So the name of the song is Oshun. Dearer to me than all the stars. So many wish but never reach. It's when I've fallen and all the world seems dark. You help me find my peace. In the still of the night, I lay listening to you breathe. People search for heaven all their lives. How lucky am I? Heaven's breathing next to me. Oshun mi ba vijani. Oshun mi ba aye. Oshun mi ba vijani. Arumida fu yeah 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 yeah. The sea has no answer now for the depth of this feeling. I will love you in the heat of the morning and the cool of the night. How blessed am I to know you like this. When you touch me, I feel free. People search for heaven all their lives. How lucky am I? Heaven's breathing next to me. Oshun mi ba vijani. Oshun mi ba aye. Oshun mi ba arumida fu yeah 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 yeah. It's a Yoruba chant to Oshun. It says, Oshun comes and she makes the giving of birth easy, or the coming of new things easy. And I give this song to you all as offering for all the new things that may come in our lives through you. We appreciate y'all. We love y'all. Thank you so much for everything. Love and respect.
Oh,
I love that.
That was
Receive.
beautiful.
I
Wow.
swear, I
Awesome.
could listen to
That was
them all
beautiful.
day, all night. They could serenade me any time of the day, anytime.
Yep, I agree.
That was
This song,
beautiful.
that was so
Yes.
beautiful. Like, that was so beautiful. I've got a surprise to add on to your surprise based off of your
Oh,
surprise. So actually, that film that I was talking about earlier, that I creative directed with, and Erica Badu saw it, edited it, and gave me her music. I actually pulled Muhammad on to do. Yeah, so he's actually doing a narration behind it, and it's based off of divine feminine energy and the healers of the earth, the mothers. So,
Love
Yeah,
that.
a
all
really
of
nice
my
surprise.
pores.
Wow.
Awesome.
Love that.
Wow. I am super excited. Like literally all of my pores are raised. Oh my gosh. Yay, this is so exciting. Oh my gosh. And I'm so happy that you guys loved your surprises. It was, the guys felt that it was very important that they leave a message for you ladies, as well as to all the ladies that are in the comments, who are watching. Again, everyone that's tuned in, thank you so much for rocking with us. We've had a really good turnout tonight. I see everyone is in the comments. Yes, the panelists can see your comments. So ladies, I know a couple people were saying, do they see our hearts? Are they seeing our love, our energy? So yes, we can definitely see it. It's being received, and we are sending it right back to you guys, okay? As we get ready to wrap up, I'll just end with a few more questions. I'll go over to Whenda. Whenda, sorry. How do you differentiate yourself within your industry?
Ooh. So how have I, well, I guess a few of the things that I've done. So when I started, like I said, my platform, there wasn't really anything like it online. Now there's a lot of different platforms that are similar to mine, but there was nothing else like it online. And then when, of course, a lot of other companies started coming up that started looking similar, of course, then it's like you have to make sure, like, okay, like you stand apart and people can tell the difference between your brand and everybody else's brand, or your work versus everybody else's work. Because when there's, when you first start something and then you're the main one there, people are seeing you a lot. Then when there's a lot of other platforms that look similar, the new people coming on board that's just discovering these type of platforms may not be able to tell the difference, of who's who. So a few of the key things I've done. So I represent Haiti, of course. And if you look at everything with my brand is blue and yellow, and not the traditional red and blue like you would see on a lot of things that represent Haiti. And that was on purpose, to make sure, like, anytime you see my content or you see anything that's been done by me or my team, that it's coming from me, and not other brands. And also, like we talked earlier, I would say the consistency, like, for the last 10 years straight, I've never stopped. I've never taken a break. And I continue to elevate every year. I bring new things every single year. And I tap into different markets every single year. We're tapping into new markets. We're working with different people. I just don't stay still. So we started out with it was just a blog. Then it was social media. Now we have a booming YouTube channel. We have a podcast. I now create content for YouTube to where I'm interviewing different artists. I've had the pleasure of actually covering large events. So it pretty much is just elevating and changing every day, and also listening to what people need. Not really what I think or what I want to put out there as content, but listening to what the community needs. Like, what is missing? What are some holes or some gaps that I can use my expertise or my network to come together and bring this type of information or content or entertainment, or go into the world and find it. Like, I'm never afraid to jump on a plane and grab a backpack and hire a few people, or hire a few people wherever, when I get to where I'm going, to do the work that needs to be done. And I take a lot of chances. We've done projects that's worked, some that hasn't worked. And what people always know about us is you never know what I'm going to do next. You never know who I'm going to work with next. You have no idea what kind of events or fundraisers, or like I just launched a new series, I want to say last month, called Toast to the Culture. And that literally is an event that's geared towards toasting Haitian influencers here in the US and in Haiti, and bridging the gap between them. So we toast like two at a time. We bring in, two people that's in Haiti and two that's here from the Haitian American market. And we bring everyone together and we toast them for their work and everything that they've done in their particular industries, from film to entertainment to music. And so I just never stop creating, I never stop working, and I never stop bringing the things that I'm also seeing happening in the world that I realize that's missing within my community or within my work or my field. So I just never stop working.
Thank you. And Tami, if you had to start over from scratch, knowing what you know now, what would you do differently?
Nothing. And I know that sounds so cliche. I just don't think, I really am a big believer in that every single thing leads you to this point. I really am. And, I sometimes think back and I wonder, what if I just, after high school was my last day of school. What if I just went to college? What if I just went to, on to higher education? And, what would my life look like? The other day I had this conversation with Wayne and I was like, suppose I stayed there and suppose I lived in England, what would have happened? Life would have been so different. All of the small things matter. All of the mistakes matter. All of the detours matter. All of the, losses matter. And so based on where I am now, I really don't know what I would change. And that's just being honest. And maybe that's just because where I am now, I have this immense sense of contentment and just, I understand how my world works and I understand what this life means to me. And I understand how everything led to here. I have a podcast and, earlier we were talking about, even Oprah, and my sister reminded me of when I was like 9. My mom used to have a dictaphone. You remember those things that you could record on? And I used to walk around, I forgot about this. I used to walk around the house and interview everybody. It was my favorite thing to do. And I think it's so funny that our life is always trying to tell us all the different things that we could be doing, could be trying. And so I'm glad I did it all and still I'm doing it all. I'm glad I took all the detours I did. My dad has this wonderful thing that he always says to me when I used to go to him and I say, I don't know what to do. And he'd say, well, if you go left, you're right. If you go right, you're right. And so I have tremendous peace in knowing that, I'm always being led. And I'm always looking for the next right step for myself. And I'm okay with everything that has happened, even the bad stuff. I'm okay with it. And honestly, I wouldn't change it.
I love that response. Thank you so much for sharing that, Tami. And Rexy, what are the most important attributes of successful leaders today?
The number one attribute I always say is empathy. You have to be able to feel for people, and that's the only way you would know if you're providing them the experience that you intended, particularly in any form of business. Obviously, the goal is to solve a problem, but even if you're not solving a problem and it's something that is not necessarily a need, but a want, you want to have a connection with people. And so it's important to have empathy. It's important to be direct. Sometimes as women, we may shy away from saying things in a certain way, but there's no shame in being forthcoming and direct with what you want, with the things that you would like to achieve. And besides having great communication, you also have to have a vision. When we talk about finding purpose, I believe that purpose is really rooted in our ability to positively impact someone else's life. And it's like the holy grail when you're able to find something that you're passionate about, and something that is profitable, or something that also pours into someone else's life. And oftentimes our purpose in general, when you go towards the level of finding leadership or being a leader, it often is at the core of it. It really is about whether or not you can relate with people. And so that's what I would say in terms of leadership.
I'm loving all the applauses. This energy feels so good. Even though we're miles away from each other, you know, Jamaica, Bahamas, Miami, Nikhita, you're in London, Barbados. Like, I can definitely feel all of this energy and love across the waters. But thank you, ladies, so much for sharing. As you all know, and as I mentioned before, this is International Women's Month, and our theme for this year was Choose to Challenge. So I would like to ask each one of you, what topic would you choose to challenge? So, you know, there's an array of topics. It can be period poverty, amongst others. What is it something that you would like to challenge moving forward? So you can just mention what the topic is. Alison, I can start with you since you're right next to me.
Okay, hold on. Yes, I had to unmute my mic. I think I would want to choose to challenge gender bias, and not only from the point of view of women being seen as lesser than well, yeah, really from that point of view, from women still being seen as less than their male counterparts. From what I have seen just overall in the world, if we look at the global stage and you look at the countries that are now being led by women, and of course that includes Barbados, as we have our first female prime minister. We also have our female governor general. So we have 2 women who are holding the highest offices in the land. And I do believe that, and I never doubted that Prime Minister Mia Amor-Motley was going to be an amazing leader. I didn't have any doubts about that. But when you see those countries that are being led by women are the ones that are moving forward and being progressive and approaching things differently, but having success. And it's not easy, you know, it's not easy by any stretch of the imagination. But we just have to keep pushing. As you know, we're not the weaker sex. We're different, but we're definitely not the weaker sex. And so gender bias would be my challenge.
Thank you, Alison. And Nikhita, what do you choose to challenge in 2021?
Who do I choose to challenge? So I definitely would love to challenge us people as a society to revisit the societal norms that has been placed on us from, you know, like centuries ago, in terms of who a person wishes to be and how they wish to be seen as, in terms of transgender and gay and bisexual. Today is also transgender, I think, World Recognition Day. And I definitely challenge people to reassess the way that they treat these types of people, and just to really take a moment to try and understand from that person's perspective, and not approach the situation with hate or anger or any of these negative ways that people tend to and have been for years, approaching people that choose to be they don't choose to be, they are transgender, or bisexual or gay or whatever they claim. Allow these people to do so in peace and live their lives as they wish, as they are, who they are, in peace and love, and harmony.
Thank you so much, Nikhita. And Whenda, what would you like to challenge?
I would challenge, I want to challenge the limits and the labels that other people put on others, and sometimes that we allow people to put on us. A lot of times, as women, as Black women, also Caribbean women, we walk in the rooms with those three labels, and a lot of times you're fighting for three different labels, and you're either to this or you're to that. I've been told like I look too young to be able to be doing this. Or sometimes people tell you, oh, maybe you're just a little too ambitious, or you're a little too loud. And, passion sometimes may seem like, anger or this and that. And you're not allowed to speak at a certain tone when you're in a room with men. They can navigate in rooms any kind of way they want, but we have to be a little bit more careful on how we speak, not to be too nice, not to be too mean, don't be too aggressive. And I would like to challenge that. I really feel like at this point, women should be free to be whoever we want to be, how we want to be, on the terms and the timing of when you want to do and be things. No one should be rushing you or telling you when you should be doing different things in your life, or why haven't you done this, or when are you going to do this. I want to challenge the idea of being able to live on our terms and taking a step back and checking in with ourselves and making sure we're not allowing, as much as we don't want to live with these labels, we're also not allowing any of it to penetrate and also affect us and how we live our lives daily.
Thank you. Tami?
I really want to challenge this idea that we have as women, that it's like there's this limited amount of space. So we all have to kind of crawl our way. In Jamaica, we say crab in a barrel. Like, I feel like we need to really shift to this idea of embracing and empowering each other, which I think a lot of women say, but I don't think they do. And I really believe that there is so much that can happen when we come together. For example, something like this. And I really want to challenge the idea of just saying it and not doing it. And so, how can you empower another woman? How can you encourage another woman? How can you lift her up? How can you use your resources to help her to figure out, to network, to whatever it is? How can you help her that day with just like getting on a phone call with her and just saying, hey, I know some days it feels crazy, being right. How can we really and truly support each other? And I really think we have to shed this mentality that there is like limited space. And so I have to fight you for what I want. And so, we all have our space in this world. And I think, I love that saying that, we will go further together. And so I really would love to see us really doing that more and not just saying it.
Thanks, Tami. And Rexy, what do you choose to challenge in 2021 and onwards?
Well, I would encourage all to choose to challenge comparison. At the end of the day, no one does you better. No one fully encompasses exactly what you're meant to be. And so once you're constantly living in authenticity, I really feel that's where you find the most purpose, and that's where you find the most contentment. And so I just challenge everyone to not look at the comparison. Do not compare at all, because everyone is on their own journey, their own timeline, and we are best suited when we're walking our own path and running our own race.
No one does you better. Amen to that. Thank you, ladies, for sharing. And I hope that the ladies that are in the group chat, as well as the men, you guys choose to challenge our topic for 2021 and onwards. Together we can make a greater impact and a greater change. So as we wrap up this wonderful conversation, I don't want you guys to leave, but I know that it's late and the kids and all this other stuff and just sleep in general, right? I would like you guys to complete this sentence for me, okay? Being Caribbean means that I am. So let's go with Tami. So being Caribbean means that I am ...
The first thing that comes to mind is just so special. And I know everybody's special, but I feel like there has been something about being a Caribbean woman that has just made people's faces just light up. I've never been to a place and said to somebody, I come from Jamaica or I come from the Caribbean, and they're just like, what? It's this wonderful injection of just love and appreciation that we are met with immediately. This incredible energy. And so I feel like it means it has been so special for me to be born where I was born, to be from where I'm from, and to be navigating this life in this time-space reality, in this body, as who I am. So being Caribbean means so many things, but the first thing that came to mind was just that warm feeling of, we are so special. We really are. And I'm so glad that, in the last 10, 15 years, that our voices are being heard even more, and we are able to represent and help other women and other young women realize how special it is to, be from here.
I feel like I need to cue the track. I'm so special. I'm so special. So special. So special.
Yeah.
Thank you. Amazing. Okay. And I will go over to Alison. Being Caribbean means that I am
fiery. Caribbean women are spicy. We are spicy, and in the best possible way, because each island has its own brand of spice, and each Caribbean woman has her own way of saying things and doing things and dressing, and there's something about being Caribbean, and like you could be in the middle of London in winter and you will know a Caribbean person because they're the only person that's wearing like a bright yellow bomber jacket or a white coat or something bright. Everybody else is in blacks and browns and grays because that's a part of who we are. That spiciness and that fieriness is a part of who we are because we're very warm and we're very we're welcoming. We embrace, we welcome everybody into our culture and into our space. And yeah, I think being Caribbean, I am a little bit of spicy.
Thank you, Ali. Whenda, being Caribbean means that I am?
Being Caribbean means that I am diverse. You can drop me anywhere in the world and I will make it make sense. I will survive because I have Caribbean blood. Like Alison said, we're spicy. Everything about us is massively diverse. Our colors, our food, our culture, hospitality, our connection, this unspoken, relationship that we have with each other, wherever you are in the world, in the airport or somewhere, you hear an accent or you hear your people and we just, automatically connect because, we grow up in a space of diversity all the time and being able to tap in and out of, a lot of different things. So being Caribbean for me, the best part of it is that we are diverse. You just never know what to do with us. You never know how we're going to show up, what we're going to do, what we're going to expand, or how we're going to show up in the world.
Amen to that. And Rexy, being Caribbean means that
I'm spirited. We have a lot of energy, like Alison said, spice, but we're also filled with substance. I think a lot of our upbringings are very similar, with just having a lot of family connection and really having a lot of values that we placed at a high regard. And so when I say spirited, there's so much involved in that, which makes Caribbean women so well-rounded and fun to be around and just full of life. Yeah.
Hello.
Kara.
There she is.
So it turns out that I just got kicked out. Give me 1 second. I'm trying to figure out what just happened here.
Listen,
Don't
if we
fret.
didn't
It
have any
happens.
technical difficulties, that means we
Yes.
didn't do something right.
That's another one of our strengths, though. We can adapt, right?
That's right.
Figure it out.
Yes. Amen. I'm literally like, wait, my computer just went completely black. And what just happened? I'm trying to log onto my phone. Again, apologies. This is a digital
Don't stress.
space that
It's
we're
okay.
living in.
At least we can hear you.
Yes,
Yeah.
good. Okay, awesome. So I will go over to Miss Nikhita. Being Caribbean means that I am.
Well, first of all, let me just say that you ladies that came before me took all of the good answers. Just kidding. You did say a lot of the stuff that I was thinking, spicy, cultural, all of these things. But I'm going to go with rhythmic. And rhythmic in so many ways, from the music to the dance, the different cultures that encompasses the Caribbean people. It's like the rhythm, the drums, it's the soul of our people. It's what makes us move. And in our movement comes this sweet harmony, the carnival, all of these different things. We are rhythmic people.
I like that. Okay, I think I'm back on. My laptop seemed to have reconnected to the internet here. So thank you so much for those beautiful responses based on the, what's happening here? Based on the comments in the chat, everyone is like, yeah, spicy. We wouldn't be spicy if we weren't Caribbean women. Yeah, so they're loving it. Diversity. You guys are seeing the comments as well, right?
Yep.
Yeah, we are.
For sure.
Full of love.
Like whatever.
Thank you. Thank you for the love, everybody. Thank you. So much positivity in the chat. So much positivity and love. We love it.
Yeah.
We love it and we love you.
And the amount of people that you have tuned in at this time is amazing.
Yeah.
I know. Usually when, I'm deciding on the time, I try to go earlier because I know some people, the time difference, and then we go, we say 9 p.m. and I'm like, maybe people are eating at that time, putting their kids down, but I'm very, very happy to see the amount of people that are tuned in right now. So thank you all for spending your Wednesday afternoon with us. Again, ladies, this was an amazing conversation. Oh gosh, I feel so full. I feel so happy. I feel so excited. This has been just a lot of great information and gems and nuggets. And like I said, the energy has been through this roof. You would really think that we've all been sitting in the same room, not knowing that we're all miles apart. So I appreciate you all for being here. If you have any last words, feel free to share before we exit out. But again, like I said, I am just eternally grateful for this conversation. And I feel that we've definitely impacted at least one woman tonight. So the mission has been accomplished.
Thank you so much, Kara. I just wanted to say that I am so beyond honored to share this space with each and every single one of you, the women on the panel. And even though I can't see the comments or anything like that, I know that if you are here in this chat, that it's exactly where you were meant to be, and that we were meant to connect. So I just want to say thank you, and that I honor each and every one of you. And I'm going to leave you with something that I always leave my people with, which is to surrender to the magical future that awaits you, because a magical future, no doubt, is awaiting you. Kings and queens, surrender to it.
Beautiful. Thank you so much, Nikhita. And any parting words for the rest of the ladies?
Yeah, sorry if I may. I echo everything Nikhita said, and ladies, it was so lovely. Learning a little bit about each and every one of you. May I go up on Instagram right now? Find and follow no, and everybody in the comments and go do the same thing. But I think what was really profound about tonight is reminding ourselves that we have to show up so masculine in this world sometimes, right? We have to, get our stuff on. We got to get that face on. We have to do this. And I think this was a lovely reminder of how beautiful it is to sometimes fall into our feminine, and how beautiful it is when we form sisterhood and come together, and how much louder our voices get. And so my message today to everybody is just not to be afraid to fall back into that feminine. And that goes for men too, by the way. Like, feminine is not the same as female. So you can fall into that energy because it is such powerful energy that can get things going the way, in a completely different way to your masculine energy that is important too. So, we are so divinely strong. And I hope we can tap into that even more. The moon is very bright right now. Time to do.
Yeah.
Big love to all of you ladies, and thank you to everybody who's here with us as well. And I hope we get into a room, really in a room, one day soon.
It
Big
will
love,
happen.
guys.
Get into the universe. We are manifesting it. It is going to happen.
Amen.
I love
Ladies, my
accent.
battery is about to die on my laptop because I don't have it plugged in. So it was charged up, but it was absolutely wonderful to be here. I thank you once again, Kara, for surrounding me with these amazing women on this panel. I have had such a wonderful time listening to you and learning, because we're all always learning. You never stop learning. When you stop learning, that's it. That's the end of everything. So, I have enjoyed listening to each and every one of you and learning from you. And I am going to, continue forward. And I love all you guys. And thank you so much once again, Kara, for having me.
You're very welcome.
From me, thank you so much. It, like everyone has said, Kara, this was so amazing. It was just such an honor and a privilege to be here tonight with everyone. Like Tami said, I'm gonna be following everyone. And even though, of course, this is like the last day of Women's History Month, Women's Day is every single day. So every single day we show up, we're amazing and we're powerful. And we make sure that, the world doesn't forget that. And it's so I'm so used to doing panels and being in a lot of different spaces with a lot of other women. But I think it's just something so special about being able to do it with Caribbean women. And because I also don't have the opportunity to do that. So listening to all of you tonight and hearing you from your different perspectives and your career and your tips have been just so amazing. It definitely is a different feeling, knowing like the way that we are connected to be able to join here like this together. So Kara, thank you for this panel. Thank you for what you do, and please continue, to create spaces like this for us, because it is very important, for our Caribbean women.
You guys are making me so emotional. Oh my gosh. Rexy, do you have any parting words, my dear? Alison is trying to find her charger.
I think everyone has summed it up really well, but I definitely want to say thank you, Kara. And this is an exceptional group of women. I just, honestly, so I'm grateful to be a part of it. And I say thank you to everyone who's in the chat and who joined us tonight. And I'm looking forward to great things from everyone here on this panel. There's so much more to do. Don't let the pandemic phase you. There's a lot of business and a lot of fun things happening. So we gotta stay positive and keep it moving. Yeah.
Yes. Again, thank you, ladies. To everyone, make sure you guys follow them, check them out. You can follow our Women's Network on social media at CWPL Global, and you will see all of their tags across the page. So it'll be easier for you guys to find them on there. So make sure you check out at CWPL Global, as well as myself at 𝘩𝘳𝘺𝘴𝘵𝘳𝘺. Lots of great things in store. I can't wait for you guys to see what we're going to roll out for the rest of the year. Huge shout out to my sponsors, Zurena and NLCB. Appreciate you guys always supporting. Ladies, you're phenomenal. You're amazing. I am so grateful to have had this chance to share in the space with you. I am energized. I'm recharged. I've had a very long month, or beginning of the year, first quarter, and I am definitely ready to attack the second quarter of this year. Your light has been shining so bright in this conversation, and I'm ready for anything that comes my way. And based on the chat group, it looks like everyone else feels the same way. So thank you, ladies, so much. Sending you so much love, so much light, so much blessings, and I can't wait till we get together in person. I feel like maybe a Jamaica, Barbados, Bahamas, somewhere in the islands is a good plan.
Yes.
Or all of them.
Exactly. We can
Right. Right.
Thank you, ladies. And again, thank you everyone in the chat for tuning in. Make sure you guys subscribe to the channel. Make sure you guys subscribe to Tami's channel as well. And keep in touch. Send us messages. You can DM at CWPL Global. Let us know who you'd like to see on the next panel. Or if we can support you in any way. Let's try to support each other more. Be there for each other, and just continue to grow and just be great. All right, ladies, thank you so much again, and have a beautiful night.
Thank you. Good night.
Thank you. Good night, guys.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome to the Backyard Bartender, powered by Zurena Premium. What is Zurena? Zurena is an all-natural gluten and sodium-free premium drink mixer. It's made with mango, passion fruit, lemon, lime, bitters, and Jamaican allspice. Be you, love you, enjoy the Zurena life. Welcome back, guys. Today we're going to go over our Ginger Diva. It's a 3-2-1 recipe, 3 ounces, which is 1.5 parts of a Prosecco, 2 ounces, which is 1 part of your Zurena, and a half part of ginger beer, 3-2-1. All right, so we're going to start with our Prosecco. We're going to follow that up with some Zurena. And then lastly, our 1 ounce. And we are going to garnish this with a fresh lime peel. There we go. Ginger Diva.